And hello, welcome to Roll the Vibe.
And we are back, guys. Welcome to Roll the Vibe, and this is the Vibes Arena. And today we have a very, very interesting crew with me.
Exactly.
My name's, as usual, Sultan. What do you expect? And
Jay Holden, the young creeper, the CEO.
Correct. And there goes.
You got SML. You know Pablo SML. They don't see me like the way this. I'm the lens. I'm the lens you don't see, but you have to see once in a while. You know.
So you see, just to kick off the conversation, a quick question.
Yeah.
Can we call it prostitution if someone gives sex to get a job as a favor?
I don't think so. Well, actually, if you, it depends with your views. You know, people give you it's your opinion to say what you think. You know, others will quickly say, she just gave her body. You know, she gave sex for her to have that job. But then we just never know exactly. You know, if you talk to that person and just like find out, or if they are that free to open up, or to whoever friend they have that they opened up to, probably that person or those people must know the whole truth to say there's some background. Probably we can find out to say, if you hear the story, that person will say, no, my family, you know, actually it was my mom. You know, like my mom was complaining, say, you know, we don't have this, we don't have what is it, you know, we don't have this and that. Then, you know, that man said, you know, he's got a company and he wants you to start working there, everything will be alright. You often not want to get a future, not want to get a life and everything. But in actual sense, as a parent, you're responsible for your child. And your duty is not to encourage them to go the wrong direction, but to put them in the right. Then you're blaming your child for a future that you should have made before.
Exactly.
And for them. You know, so now people don't get to say there's a background to that deed. So others, without knowing, will say, yeah, she's a hoe, she gave sex, that's prostitution. But those that know will say, this is the condition and there's nothing she could do.
It's more like a once-off act that someone has to perform
to
get something out of something.
Yeah.
Because looking at the background, like most of the people will be forced to say like, I don't have a choice, we can starve. You know, I have to do this one thing like I have to do right now, maybe sleep with this man, you know, and then put me on the right position of start earning money and stuff. And now people forget this one thing to say like, you know, that person who's putting you wherever they're putting you, so whatever request they have to request, you have to actually, you know, go through with it. Otherwise, now in the back of your head, you have to remember, say like, if you refuse, you know, that person has the, you know, the power to actually take you off from the position they put you on. So now think about it. You're destroying the future. You should have just made like in the right way. And then you do some certain things that you are not even supposed to do in the first place to get a job. And then it affects you. What if that man is like, you know, married or something? And then maybe the wife gets to find out to say like, that's what I'm saying. Like they get to find out to say like, there's this someone, you know. And then that wife from home decides to say like, no, I'm going to kill that little girl, you know what I mean? Because people are crazy, you know, for love. Because they know like, to say like, I've grown with this man. We strive through these problems for him to get rich or to be on the path where he is. So that woman won't be just willingly to let you, a young chap, you know, take over something that she's built with someone.
Yeah.
So she'll go to extra lengths to do something about it. Now imagine you get that job and then she hears about it. She comes through, maybe beat you up. You know, you go back home bruised all over, and then they ask you, don't want that. They ask you, what happened? You're like, you know, I was robbed. No one is going to buy that story.
So you can't call that prostitution if this person sleeps with the human resource of this company to get a job. Is that prostitution, or you know, where exactly can you put that?
Let's define it this way. I feel, in my own opinion, I feel when you are paying for sex, that's prostitution. You're paying. But
you know, like things can be paid, like not only in money, right?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. She doesn't have the money, so she's giving sex.
That's a service she's performing.
That's a service she's performing. So if you're giving a service physically, that's prostitution.
So at that point,
this is why I said there's a background. There's a background story, you know, and mainly if it's a parental thing. I just give an example to say maybe it's a family situation when things are rough and everything, and you know they just want to make ends meet. And then you know this opportunity comes when they send their daughter, you know, for a job and they force her in, and they say, what happens? This just happens. You know, the man that will give her the job can even tell the parents, I feel like I want to marry your daughter, without her paying it. And then she can't refuse because the parents will be like, but her life is not okay. her aim is, I want to make my life. I want to have a dream. I want to, you know, do this and this. She set goals, but then all that dies, and she just falls into marriage with somebody that she doesn't even know or feel a thing for. You know. So now, not knowing the background, our opinion, we're going to say this is prostitution because it's in the act of service. This person has paid. They've given their body for them to get a job. If there's money involved, if it's a service, it's prostitution.
So that applies to a guy also.
That applies to a guy too. If he's going to give his body away and he's getting paid in return, that's prostitution.
So they're actually male prostitutes.
They're actually male prostitutes. Exactly.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And then if for the person who is giving service, sex as a service, is prostitution. What about that guy who is actually receiving the sex?
It's one and the same, I would say.
It's one and the same.
So it's just prostitution.
Exactly.
Prostitution.
For him to give out, which means getting something.
He's getting something in return. He's getting paid for the sex. The woman is getting paid for the sex.
And then him, he's getting paid by
you
sex.
are the one that is
giving
getting
out.
You're giving out. But then by the end of the day, there's
receiving the sex.
reciprocation. You're giving the same. So there's feedback. You receive, you give back.
Yeah.
So everyone is benefiting. You're both
so like
paying.
for those people that are still actually having that mind to say like, oh yeah, because we always try to actually make ourselves feel better about certain things, even though they are wrong. We try to sugarcoat it and say like, no, because it's me, it has to be alright, So I'm going to turn the question around. Let's say as a guy, you're married, and things are bad, like bad, and then your wife secretly, she doesn't tell you, she just tells you like, oh yeah, I'm going to look for a job. And then after she goes, and then they are the HR, ask for a certain something, you say like, oh sleep with me. And I'm gonna, change your life, gonna give you a position of a manager in my company. So that woman makes a decision and says, like, anyway, we're starving. There's nothing I can do. My man can't do anything right now. She decides to sleep with that man. The whole position of her changes. She starts earning money, and at a certain point, after even your wife helps you, you are balling now, happening because your wife is bringing in income at home. You start dressing better and stuff, and then she tells you at a certain point, she's like, oh, you're balling, huh? You're looking nice. Okay, here's what I did. I slept with the HR.
I see your response.
I slept with the HR, for us to be here because you couldn't do anything about the situation. So I did what I thought was right. So would you call that woman, a prostitute?
Or
you would actually call that woman a freedom fighter?
well, actually,
She fought her way to freedom.
Yeah.
Fought her way to freedom. Look at the way she used to find to give herself freedom. This is the point we mentioned earlier, to say you need to be content with what you have.
Exactly.
But there's nothing at that point.
Exactly.
What are you going to be content about?
Exactly. There's nothing at the point. And when there's nothing at the point, people would always say, be patient.
Okay.
Be patient.
Now is
Be patient
That's
because
a vibe.
Be patient because things just happen suddenly.
Yeah.
At times you will say, I'm in my worst situation. I don't even know. The moment you just tell yourself, you know what, I understand what's going on right now. I can't be blocked in my mind to say, this, that. Let me just free myself from every thought and just maybe let things be for a short time. Maybe for a few minutes or for an hour. Let me just not think about anything. Then you're just like, okay, let me be normal. Let me just do a few things. I know I have a lot going on. Then as time goes, you get to find out just before the day even ends, things just happen and you're back. This one does this. Maybe there's something you wanted to sort out. This one sorts it out for you, and everything. Then things get back to normal. You have a meal with your wife.
As an addition to that,
such things.
As an addition to that, I would say this one thing as for an advice. I would say, in life, we can't control everything to happen accordingly to how we want things to be. We can only control a certain part. Because there's one thing we have to realize: like we are not the main characters of life. You are in your own space. You know what I mean? And then life gets hard to that point where, you have to actually, worry about the situation you are in. Yeah, quite alright, right? But while you are in the situation where you are, you have to think about like, how did I get here?
Because there are other forces that are playing their part as well.
And then ask yourself this question: what can I do to get out of this situation I'm in? You can just worry about, no, I need to get out. If you get out, where are you gonna go? It's the same thing like when you get in quicksand, right? The more you struggle, the more it pushes you down in. So you have to be smart as you trying to actually get yourself out. So for you not to actually get back in the same situation, you have to know where you are and how to get out of that situation. And that's the thing, not making rash decisions just because like an opportunity comes, you feel like you are helpless, you decide to sleep with someone over a job. What if the job ends?
I slept with him. So aren't you looking good? And you are not sleeping. Okay, cool. This, problems can arise. You have pressure again later in the future.
Exactly.
Now this time around it will be different. It will be the man. Let him do it and be in the situation and say, oh yeah, I also did the same. You remember that time? I did the same thing. Is the woman going to stay?
No.
Yeah, probably should say, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
You can't be sleeping around and just saying, but he's providing in home. You did this and it was normal. Exactly. I'm doing it. It's not normal.
Exactly.
No, divorce. I want one. No, I can't stay with you. Such thing. So it's the background. It's the story behind everything. Not everyone that will be involved in the situation of I'm paying my body for the money. I'm paying my body for the job. We're starving. These are the examples we're giving.
Exactly.
These are some of the things people can do for them to have something or to earn something, to get something in return. They're paying for their bodies. They're paying with money. They're giving sex. They're giving money. So now, the advice is be patient.
Okay. So this is now where the whole thing becomes interesting. So, for example, if you see this woman, right?
Exactly.
You're crashing on this woman, and then you make your move. Things are going on the right direction.
Yep.
Then you discover that because she's looking nice, all that, she goes to work every day. Then you discover that she had to go through that route for her to get that job that she has. What would you do? Would you be a hero and save her, or would you just let it slide?
So there's like two parties like right here, like in the moment. Did she do it proudly, or she had no choice?
She had no choice, for example,
than to do it.
Yeah.
Now, like me being a hero and saving her from that situation, that's me looking at myself as well. Say, like, am I stable enough to get that person out of the situation they're in? Because if they keep doing it, or they're stuck in a workplace where like that act is being, taking place like for a long time. You say like, there's that man always requesting for sex, and this keeps going and going and going. She's still there after me, and me coming in. Which means I have to be stable enough for me to actually get out of that situation. Because
but you're a man, you're a hero. I mean, men do anything.
Because if she was willing, if she was willing to get out, she could have done it on her own. So for her to stay, which means she still need whatever like is being given to her. So as for me to come in, I shouldn't come in to be helpless. Me as a savior, I have to provide now. In that situation.
I don't think entirely to say you have to be financially stable in this situation. According to the question you've asked, how do you get her out of the situation? You're the hero. She becomes your girlfriend and stuff, and she doesn't mention, and she just mentions it later to say, no, actually, this job that I have, this is what happened.
And the story starts funny. She said, this man bothers me a lot. You're like, this man bothers me a lot. What's the story? Then the next day she'll be like, baby, you remember that man? He keeps bothering me. Then you see a picture of that man in her phone. What's the story really here? So in summary, what do you say about that?
The question, briefly. You don't choose to be in a situation where you feel I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody who slept with somebody, because you said she slept with that man for her to get a job. Exactly. And then later, if maybe a few months or years later, she finds you and you start dating her, you're in a relationship and you strongly want to grow with this person, then you discover later on she tells you, I actually slept with this man for me to have this job, and me working and everything else. There, you being the hero, like the question you asked, to say, no, how are you going to be the hero to save her from that situation? Well, you don't need to be a hero. You're not saving her from anything. She has to save herself.
Exactly.
Because in the first place, it's her deed, not yours.
Exactly.
You the only role you have to play is being the guy for her. Show her that you are the guy present for her.
Yeah. And the question still stands to say like, is she willing to be saved?
Exactly. Is she willing to be saved? Because it's her in the situation. And imagine it's even worse more for the fact that she is still working in that company.
Exactly.
And she's comfortable. Now it will be mental torture for you, the guy, because you'll be like, she's even comfortable, and all these years that I've been with her, I've seen her at work, I've seen her here, she's happy and everything, and she's getting that money from that same company. And what happens if I don't give her money? What happens if I don't support her financially?
Exactly.
She's gonna sleep with another guy just to have what she likes.
Exactly.
All those thoughts, you're gonna have them, but in the end, all in all, the point is, it's her choice. It's hard to decide. And probably, if the man decides to say, can you stop working, you will be unfair.
Exactly. Are you going to provide?
How are you going to provide? Because that's the question that will be asked. So the best thing to do is you financially stable.
Because for her to actually stay in that company, which means she still need the money, even though she's with you.
Exactly.
So for her to see you financially stable, or to see that you are capable, she can stop willingly and say like, I have a man who can actually look after me, take care of me, give me what I need. But for her to be still
be there, which means it's about the money, not you.
Exactly. And that's how I was asking to say like, at that point, is she willing to be saved?
No, she's not.
She's not. So on that part is to all up to her, and that kind of person who would actually tell me they did something, a deed, for them to actually get a job at a certain company where they're still working as of now. And then you as a boyfriend, that you know you've built something, you know, an understanding, you know, a relationship which is actually on good standing. And a relationship is built on trust. And that trust for her to actually wait for that long and tell you at that particular time, which means there was no trust all along, you know. And then for her, not actually stopping the work that she's actually doing, she doesn't trust you hard enough to see you as a potential someone that can actually provide for her.
To build up from scratch and become something. You know, you only give up on a man if he hasn't shown any potential to grow. Exactly. If he doesn't want to do anything about growth, he's not working hard on himself. There's no hustling going on. There's no drive. There's no talent, no ability, no nothing. He just wants to be there and wants you to accept him. You don't need that type of a man. Even women don't need those type of women who just want to sit back and I'm going to get it the easy way. If you want to get it the easy way, well, just know physically you better be ready to go down, because that's the price you're going to pay, and that's not the road and direction you want to take. It comes with its own consequences. You choose the wrong road, know the consequences of that wrong road, and don't complain about it. You will take every step and you have to endure and accept. Go through whatsoever. You choose the right way, you know, to say this is hardships. You know, to say doing it right, it's going to be hard. I feel like that's killing myself at some point. That's the hardest route, but then if you have accepted it, it's worth it. Know all those hardships that are befalling you are not from without, they are building you. So now 2 things to be brief, just to cut off and reach our conclusion or everything else. You don't give sex to get a job.
Never do that.
Don't give money, get a job. I know there's corruption. I know there's I'm beautiful, so I can, you know, get whatsoever I want.
I can get any money that I want.
I can't be this broke, you know. Mom raised a beautiful child, you know, I have to do my thing. Your mom didn't raise you to be a prostitute. Your mom didn't raise you to give your body away.
She didn't do that.
She didn't do that. How would she feel? And if your mom is the one that is going to be behind it to force you into it, to say, please get into a relationship, my daughter, you know, save us from all this trouble. You feel like, yeah, it's the right thing to do, I'll go for it. No. That's not the direction we want to go. You don't want to destroy yourself and just ruin the life that you have. So the advice we can give in conclusion is, please try to be patient. This life is not easy. We all know that. But giving sex,
don't destroy your future for a temporary thing, for a materialistic thing.
Yeah, for temporary pleasure.
Your life is precious, hard enough. Work hard. Life is hard, but there are people out there who are willingly, you know, giving support.
They want to
there
take
are jobs
you
out there that take serious people. You need talent. It's not always you have to get the easy way out. Be smart.
Be smart. So please, in the comments below, please share your views and tell us what you think. Is, you know, giving sex to get a job the right thing? Is giving money to get a job the right thing? What are the situations that lead to people doing that? You know, when they give sex to get a job, what's the background story? Is it because, you know, there's a background story behind it, or they're just prostituting? It's their way of making money. We want your views to tell us. If it's giving money, tell us if it's the right thing to do, and why people that can't give anything can't get it, and what should be done about it. Your views in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification button, and be out.
See you in another episode.